Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Shall we start now?
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, sir.
The unit. Okay. Okay. So the major questions we have discussed. Now, next is that from unit 3, please write down the questions. Unit 3, it includes from unit 1 and 2. Then from unit 3, one question, it's all about your project appraisal and project management. Generating business idea. Write down the importance of generating business idea to set up an undertaking.
Sir, please repeat it again.
Okay, I'm using my. So see, the questions from Unit 3. One is that about idea creation of idea. You may get a question how to generate an idea. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So one is that about getting of an idea to start a new setup. You may get a question. The another question that what is a project, how the project is to be formed, and how what are the different stages are there in project. What should be there in the project so that with the project one can avail the loan. Another is that what are the objectives of preparation of project. Okay. Then these are the two questions are there. Another is that how to price the project. Like the project evaluation is there, how it is evaluated and how the project is to be appraised. The next is that what is risk analysis, why it is required, what is the purpose of analyzing risk. I कहले कि business house रे कि finance point of view we are identifying that more risk more return, that is there, but the risks whatever we are taking is to be analyzed, it is to be evaluated, it is to be examined, it is to be assessed, it is to be estimated, and it is to be calculated. Let's say if you are unable to, if you are not doing that, if you are not identifying the financial risk, whatever are there, then what will happen? The chances of making loss or failure will become more. So that is what is risk analysis and how it is analyzed. So basically, by looking at the project, we can identify the risk, whatever risks are there. Suppose, for example, what happened? I sent a memo, I sent a letter to someone else. Now, what happened while preparing the memo, while preparing the letter, I have not minutely read the letter and I sent it. Now, what happened after receiving by that other one, the other side? What happened? It became a problematic condition for me and it is bounced back. The reason of bouncing back is that, see, I have not analyzed the risk factor of the wording what I have written. So whatever steps we are taking, in fact, in business house, in our daily life, in our practice, we should analyze the risk, whatever involved. Even if while communicating to someone, I should know the risk, the level of risk which I'm taking. It is not that always fruitful. The saying is that taking more risk, getting more return. So risk is to be analyzed so that what will happen? We can at least convert the risk into a challenge and we can work in a safe environment. So that is one question you may get. What do you mean by risk analysis? Why it is done and how it is done? That is another question. The next question is that the sources of finance. What are the different sources of finance? The different sources of finance, we can say one source is your long-term finance, one is your medium-term, and one is your short-term. So these are the different sources of finance are there. Now, at what point of time we go with long-term finance, we go with medium-term, we go with short-term. And how to generate the long-term finance? What are the different bodies or institutions are there which are basically supporting us to provide the long-term finance, and how the enterprises are like, you see, getting the medium-term finance, and how the enterprises are getting the short-term finances. Now, this is all about your sources of finance. This maybe you may get a question. So now I hope 4 or 5 questions which I have discussed, in which I have already stated in front of you, is that one question from idea, one question from project, one question from what your risk, and another project formulation, another is from sources of finance. These are the 4 or 5 questions. Clear? Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, am I visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
You are
sir.
visible.
Okay. Now see, what do you mean by getting an idea? What is the purpose of that? Why we should have some idea before setting up the business? Now see, whatever task we are doing, it always starts with generating idea. Suppose, for example, you have taken admission here. You have taken admission in the year 2021. Now, many options must be there in front of you. Many options. Now, many options are there in front of you by which many options were there. Now,
sir, can we apply the? Sir, can we apply UGC NET this time? Means for second year in third semester.
You can apply. During third semester, you can apply the NET exam.
Thank you, sir.
You can apply.
Okay, sir.
One can apply UGC NET from second semester. I'm sorry, from third semester. Now, what do you mean by getting an idea? Now, when you have taken admission here, you must have analyzed the market. Are you getting a point? You must have analyzed the market. Like what kind of course is that? Who is there? And how the course I will complete. Now, you must have visited 2 or 3 institutions. Many institutions are there, you must have visited. Now, why you have done that? You have done that kind of initial exercise only to get an idea about the course which you will opt after a couple of years or after your certain kind of course. Now, in case of business, before starting or before setting or before preparation of the project, we should go for generating idea. Just write 1 or 2 lines on that. Business process starts with generation of product idea, project idea, people idea, purpose idea. Okay, now what is that? Before setting up an unit, you need to get the idea on this. We need to have the knowledge about the product. We should have the idea on the process, practice, people, product, all those ideas you should have. Now, why it is required? Why the idea is required? Because in order to select, why we are going with that? In order to select the most effective and promising project. Before, we need to select the most effective and promising project for the enterprise. Okay, so for the enterprise. Now with that, what will happen? We can generate fund or we can apply it in the bank to get the loan. Now project idea can be discovered from various sources. The project idea can be discovered from various sources. Now, what is the purpose of getting the idea? And the idea basically starts with the process. In fact, we can say the initial is that inception of idea. The first is that inception of idea. The second is that once inception idea is that we need to take different steps. I will discuss what are the steps are to be taken here. Once you have the idea is there in your mind, then you need to develop the idea. Okay, suppose mu gote problem deli तुमको solution करिया पे ना तमे तापरे idea create करूचो बा किछि जिंस को पढुचो, then inception of idea is there. Now with that we have started doing research. Then that means it is the development of idea. Now once it is developed, then next you will evaluate the idea. So evaluation is otherwise known as examining or assessing the idea what you are
what you have adopted. Then next is your adoption of new idea. Okay, adoption, accumulation, or addition of new idea. Now, basically, it is done in 4 steps. तमे जेते बही जाओ जुआडे जाओ जो क्लास करो मु जो पॉइंट दोची कोठी तुमको मिलिबो नाही. The reason is that whatever points I am giving, I am trying to get it of my own by reading different books or otherwise by getting idea. What is that? One is that inception of idea. It is the beginning. You need to discuss how the idea will be incepted. It is through discussion. It is through judging. It is through interview. It is through visiting site that I will discuss. Once it is there, then next is your developing the idea what you have initially collected. Here we are collecting the idea through different sources. Then you are trying to develop it. Then how you are developing? Considering all your internal parameters. What are the internal parameters? We can see your level of knowledge, your level of expertise, your level of skill, your level of financial parameters, and your level of support. Taku neki, you need to develop it. Once it is developed, then you will start evaluating whether you are right or wrong, whether you are going in the right direction or correct direction. Once you are able to find out, no, the direction in which you are going, it is the right, then what will happen? You can go with some additional input into it. By taking some expert views, okay, by considering some others competitor strategy. So at the end, we can adopt new idea. So this is what is the basic concept behind the creation of idea. So basically, we get idea or we implement idea with these 4 basic steps. One is inception of idea, one is the developing of idea, one is the evaluation of idea. Then once you are evaluated, then you will try to find out some new mechanism which should be added in the idea what you have initially identified. Now, from where you will get the idea? There are several sources are there. Several various sources are there. One source, just write down the sources of getting the idea. One is that by discussing with the potential customers. From where we can get the idea? These are first is your discussion with the potential customers and their needs. Customer के साथ discussion करो एवं तांको need को identify करो. Then you will get idea. Considering the emerging trends, in demands of certain products, emerging trends in demands of certain products. Next is scope for substitute products. Suppose already the products are available, whether the product which you are giving is already available, then what is the scope of that substitute product? If you are able to find out, then you will get the idea and you can prepare the project. Then next, going through certain professional magazines, reading the case study, reading the case studies and the different project reports prepared by other enterprises. Then next, success stories of known entrepreneurs. Success stories of known entrepreneurs. Success stories of known entrepreneurs. Visiting trade fairs. Visiting trade fairs. Exhibitions. And field trips. Meeting with government people. You can also meet with government people or different institutions. Those which usually promotes the entrepreneurs. Okay, visiting the trade fairs are also there. Next, consulting with professionals and knowledgeable persons. Attending different training programs, conferences, seminars. Understanding about the government provisions, incentives, subsidies, government provisions, incentives, subsidies, taxation policies, provision for generating fund, etc. Now, these are the basics through which we can generate idea. I hope tamane etiki jodi mone rakhibo. So at least if you are getting a part question in a long question or a short type question, certainly mate lage ki idea, how to generate idea, what is its importance, why it is required. So it is helpful. Different like objective of generating ideas are there. One is that it is helpful to excel in the field. It is helpful to understand the market. It is helpful to you can know about the sources of fund from where you can generate the finance. Then it is also helpful to the entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, to start up their own unit. The government restrictions, provisions, subsidies, and government support systems can be known with that. It is all. The most important is that it will help the person to prepare the project in a systematic manner, most promising manner, so that what will happen with that, you can avail the loan or avail the finance. Right? So this is what is all about your getting an idea. बुझी पारिलो एतिकी रे तमरो गोटे पार्ट क्वेश्चन हमें डिस्कशन करले. नेक्स्ट यूनिट एसे यूनिट आउ कोन अछि. ओके, व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय प्रोजेक्ट? व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय प्रोजेक्ट? के कहि परियो प्रोजेक्ट कोन? Anyone can tell what project is actually? Yes
sir, idea को implement करियर रोड रोड मैप.
Excellent. It is a road map. It is a flow chart. It is a pen and paper work. It is a plan. It is a systematic stepwise activities which are to be carried out. बुझ पाले? Now just write the same point what you have stated. A project is an idea. Just write, a project is an idea or a plan that is intended to be carried out. That is intended to be carried out and to be submitted to a financial institutions for getting the approval and availing the fund or loan, for getting of approval or availing the loan. Now it is a pen and paper work. It is a flow chart which shows the dimensions which will basically specify the stepwise activities or stage-wise activities which are to be taken in due course. So that what will happen from that, once someone will read the project, from that one can know what is the total amount to be invested. At what point of time the plant will set up, at what point of time the machineries will be set up, at what point of time the first production will come into the market. The detailed plan, the concepts are there. The dictionary meaning of project is that it is a scheme Just write down that the dictionary meaning of project is that it is a scheme or a design or a proposal of some activities which are devised to be achieved. Okay, dictionary, accurate dictionary, but what the meaning of project as per the dictionary is that it is a scheme or a design or a proposal of certain activities which are intended or devised to be achieved. Right? Now, a project typically has a distinct mission that it is designed to achieve, and a clear termination of points are identified with certain mission, vision, objective, purpose. With certain mission, vision, objective, and purpose, all those things are identified in that. So what the project is usually we basically identify the roadmap, the structure where we intend to move. So that is what is all about a project. Now just write down one or two meaning of project. Project is an organized project is a organized project is an organized stepwise activities. Project is an organized stepwise activities which are, just a minute. Project is an organized stepwise activities which are designed to achieve the ultimate result, which are designed to achieve the ultimate result decided at the conclusion portion of the project. It is a scientifically designed work plan. Project is a scientifically designed work plan. Why it is scientifically? Because we do lots of research in the project, preparation of project. It is a scientifically designed work which is devised to achieve a specific objective within a specific period of time. Within a specific period of time. Acha, I have narrated many points. Can anyone tell me the characteristics of project? What are the characteristics? You can either SMS or you can unmute yourself and can tell me. What are the different characteristics of project? Can anyone tell me? Am I audible? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Tell me the different characteristics of project.
Sir, it will be specific.
Yes.
Measurable.
Okay.
We can, sir, we can approach the smarter approach. We can take for understanding approach, you can take smart, SMR.
Okay. Smart answer. Very good. Thank you. Okay. Any other thing? What are the basic characteristics of project? Yes. Anyone, please say. No answer. If you read the definition, from there you can get n number of characteristics. If you want to write a definition or you want to define a concept, try to identify the basic characteristics. If you are able to remember the characteristics, then it is quite easy to define it. And if you are able to define, then it is very easy to write down the characteristics, because from the characteristics you can give definitions, and from definitions you can design the characteristics. The difference between you and me is that you know what I know. The only thing is that I try to collect or to find out the basics of that concept, which you are not able to touch it. Once you will start doing that, then you can answer it. Now, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to find out the keywords. The first is that project is a proposal, isn't it? Project is a proposal. So it is always proposed. Project, why it is proposed? Because it is not happened. Yes, it is measurable and relevant. Okay, thank you, Subhasmita. Now say it is a proposal. Now why it is a proposal? See, suppose got a PhD kariba. Someone wants to enroll for PhD. It is not there in your preparation of project which you will do in your 4th semester. But what happened? See, PhD kariba, it is a long-term approach. It will take minimum 3 years, maximum 8 years or 10 years. But 8 years term chali. Now, ଯେତେବେଳେ କରିବ ସେତେବେଳେ ଗୋଟେ 10 page ର ଗୋଟେ prepare କରିବ ଗୋଟେ report, synopsis. Now, what that synopsis is actually? That synopsis will tell the detailed course of action, what you intend to do in that particular area, like introduction, scope of the study, like objective of the study, what others have already done in that area. Then with that, suppose research what you intend to do. If these two are not different, then what new you will give? Now, your work something must be a new work. You must have read it in your research methodology. You need to find out the research gap. जो काम हेई जाइछि और जो काम मु करूबी ता भीतर किछि गैप अछि. You need to find out the research gap. Then तापर कोन होछि research gap रे तमे लिखलो scope, objective, research methodology. Now research methodology रे method of data collection, method of research analysis, method of calculation, method of adoption statistical tools, method of selection of sample. ना एगुडा को सब कोन तमे करिवो सब future tense रे था. तापर चैप्टराइजेशन लिखछ. चैप्टर 1 कोन रहबो, चैप्टर 2 कोन रहबो, चैप्टर 3 कोन रहबो, चैप्टर 4 कोन रहबो, 5 कोन रहबो, 6 कोन कोन लिमिटेशन तमे फेस करिवो ताकू भी लिखुछ. तापर जदी इट इज ए फंडेड प्रोजेक्ट, फंडेड माने कोन, तमे आदि पैसा पाइबो ताहले ताहले लिखो डिटेल लिखिबो कि केते टंकार तमे आदि इन्वेस्टमेंट अछि. तमे आदि कंप्यूटर किनिबो, आदि गोटे लोक हायर करिवो, डाटा कलेक्शन ने एतिकी ए एरिया रे घुमिबो एमती एतिकी. सो दिस इज रिसर्च एनालिसिस रे एतिकी. सो डिटेल पैसा केते एस्टिमेटेड एक्सपेंडिचर यू नीड टू प्रिपेयर. देन एट द एंड तमरो जो प्रोजेक्ट बाहरिबो, जो लास्ट कंक्लूजन सेटा केमिति फ्रूटफुल होबो, तार रिजल्ट कोन होबो ताकू तुमको डिसाइड करिया पड़ो. सो ऑल आर द फ्यूचरिस्टिक वर्क. So that's why it is a proposal which you are giving. It may be accepted, it may not be accepted. So it is a proposal. Now what you are doing, you are preparing the proposal into a report. So project is a report, structured report. बुझी पारलो ना नहीं पिला माने?
Sir.
Yes sir. कौन बुझिलो? First is that project is a proposal. Then project is a report. Then next is your project is an organized output, outcome, organized outcome. So why it is organized outcome? Because stepwise activities you need to write down. Unorganized nathibo, systematic thibo, organized outcome. Then project is to be justified. तमे जहा देइछ ताकू तमे जस्टिफाई करिवार अछि. You need to prove it that this is what is the correct thing which you have given. So now before preparing the project you should have the idea plentifully on your mind. So पूरा एकदम भली बुद्धि idea थिबार अछि so that you can justify it. सबुर आंसर तम पाखरे थिबो. Why you have done that? You need to answer it, because once you have prepared the project and you have submitted means it is done. And if you are unable to answer, then it is gone. So the done or gone bhitere tamara kon rahuchi, you need to justify it, you need to answer it. You are answerable for each of the tasks what you have given. Now jodi tame न करि परला, justify न करि परला, ताहले तुमको से project cancel हेजिबो. So project को तुमको justify करिया होछि. So irrelevant project देले it will be cancelled. So relevancy must be there. So relevant project तमे दउथिबो. Then next is that project is to be evaluated. बुझी पारला ना नहीं? अरे बुझुचो ना नहीं पिला माने?
हाँ सर.
Okay, it is to be evaluated. जो प्रोजेक्ट तमे दउछ तार स्टेप वाइज इवैल्यूएशन हबो, नले बैंक काटी की फोपाडी दो, फाइनेंस दबो नाही, प्रत्येक स्टेप को इवैल्यूएशन दबो. सपोज फॉर एग्जांपल तमरो केते सिविल स्कोर अछि, तमरो केते बैंक रे लोन अछि, तमे बैंक गारंटी देई परिबो ना नाही, ए सब गुडा को इवैल्यूएशन करिवो. करला परे जायकि प्रोजेक्ट फाइनल हबो. So what are the different points are there? Project is a proposal, project is a report, project is an organized outcome, project is to be justified, project is to be evaluated, and project is a course of action. It is a course of action. Course, what is stepwise action which will be taken care of? And finally, project corner. What is that? It is simply a thought process. It is simply a thought process of the person who developed it. So it is simply a thought process which usually developed by the person.
Sir, course of action टिके उतरे.
Course of action which you will carry out in future. So course of action means first phase you will do this. So you will set up the industry. Second phase you will set up this. Third step you will set up this. Fourth step you will start producing. So what are the actions are to be taken care of in future? It is to be decided. It is to be written clearly, to be written down. Suppose आमे जेतबे ICSSR रो प्रोजेक्ट पे अप्लाई करूछु, से देन एट दैट टाइम हमकु गोटे पेज थाय कोर्स ऑफ एक्शन. तमरा स्टेप वाइज प्रथम 6 मास तमे कोन करबो, सपोज वर्ष करो, प्रथम 2 मास तमे कोन करबो, सेकंड 2 मास कोन करबो, थर्ड 2 मास कोन करबो, लास्ट 2 मास रे कोन करबो. सो सेति कि जदी नाही तापर जदी तमे क्लियरली डिफरेंशिएशन करिनो ताले कोन होची तम प्रोजेक्ट मिलिबो नाही. इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू गेट अ प्रोजेक्ट फ्रॉम ICSSR.
Sir, sir, organized outcome और course of action
must be in organized manner, systematical thibo. It must be in organized manner. कहाँ पर कोटा है थिबो, कहाँ पर कौन थिबो. सेमती तो तमे कोवे गोटिए लिखिनो ना course of action लिखि दे पळे ऐसा गोटिए characteristics. It will not happen. जेतेबेले गोटे बाबा सुनो, जेतेबेले तमको गोटे 14 मार्क रो क्वेश्चन पडियो तमे गोटिए पॉइंट लिखि आसियो, तमको केते मार्क देबो कहिलो. बुझिला, तुमको मल्टीपल पॉइंट सिमिलर टाइप रो इंटररिलेटेड पॉइंट यू नीड टू डिफाइन. तुम लिखि दो ना प्रोजेक्ट इज अ प्रपोजल, ता भीतर तो सब पळेबो, बट तुमको डिफरेंट वे रे नीड टू आंसर इट. तमर जो डेफिनेशन रहला देखो, ए जहा पॉइंट मु कहली प्रत्येक गुडा को डेफिनेशन ने थिबो. सो प्रपोजल थिबो, रिपोर्ट थिबो, एटा गोटे organized report outcome on basis of time. Course of action is your time, specific period point. It must be a specific for a specific period. So this is all about your different characteristics of project. Now write down the definition basing on these characteristics. Project is a proposal. Just write down the characteristics. Project is a proposal of organized activities which are to be carried out
which
are to be carried out and to be evaluated at any point of time. project is prepared on the basis of the idea and the thought process for the purpose of giving clear-cut justifications of each step for availing loan, getting of approval, and registration of the unit.
Sir, clear cut justification पर टिके छाड़ियली.
अरे मुआ कोई कौन कोई नहीं भूलिए for registration of getting of unit. Okay. Now tell me, what are the characteristics of project which we prepare? One is that project is a proposal, project is a report, project is an organized outcome, project is to be justified, it is to be evaluated, it is the course of action, and it is a thought process for a specific time or thought. It is a thought process. एतिकी जदि मने रखिबो तमर इंट्रोडक्शन रे जहा पड़िबो तमे लिखि पारिबो. Now objectives of project. Why we should prepare project? Objective. मने रहिबो project कोन?
आज्ञा.
न देखि कहिलो.
So first होची proposal. proposal को हम रिपोर्टिंग करिबा रिपोर्ट स्ट्रक्चर रे जो रिपोर्ट स्ट्रक्चर करिबा सेटा ऑर्गेनाइज हेतबा दरकार. ऑर्गेनाइज हैला पर तो हम प्रथम जस्टिफिकेशन करिबा, एनालाइज करिबा, तापर तो इवैल्यूएशन इवैल्यूएट
करिबे.
आज्ञा इवैल्यूएट कर सला पर
कोटा के इवैल्यूएशन करिबे तम कोर्स ऑफ एक्शन आ तम थॉट प्रोसेस.
आज्ञा सर.
Hello. So this is all about it. Now, what are the basic objective of preparing project? First, just write down the points. One is that better efficiency in delivering services. Clear-cut justification, availing loan, getting of approvals, and registration of the unit. Thank you, Sasmita. Now, what are the objectives of preparing a project? Now, first is that better efficiency in delivering the services. So, you can become efficient person by preparing a project. Your enterprise will become efficient, and the services can be delivered easily. Then next is your another objective of preparing project is that improved and enhanced customer satisfaction. Timely output, improved and enhanced customer satisfaction. The next is that timely output. Because why timely output? The reason is that stepwise activities you have given. A time re a comma, a time re a comma. Because it is a timetable. So timely output. The next is it is understanding, better understanding by the financier. With that, the financier can understand the detail about the project report. risk analysis is done easily. Risk analysis is done easily. The next is the quantity and quality. The quantity and quality parameters, the quantity and quality parameters are identified. Okay. Right. So आपको तुमको elaborate करियाको पड़ियो. Objectives of project report you need to elaborate. But before that, किछिटा idea नबार अछि. Why it is prepared and how it is prepared. Why and how. Suppose for example, how कहि देले हमें कहि परिबा कि certain projects are quantifiable, certain projects are non-quantifiable. किछिटा project हमें quantify करि परछु, किछि project को हमें non-quantify. It cannot be quantified. Okay, suppose quantifiable कोटा जोथरे number रहिछि. Non quantify हमें कहउछे कि quantify कोडा करि होनी जोडा को skill component रहिछि. ताकू quantify करिवा is very difficult. Services टा को quantify करिवा very difficult. But unit wise जोडा को हमें quantify करिवा is easy. In certain organization we produce the product from unit wise, then it is quantifiable. But certainly हमें कहउछे कि गोटे लोकर बुद्धि टा को बढ़ेवा, ज्ञान टा को बढ़ेवा. It is very difficult to quantify. It has no limit. Like suppose I will ask, define beautiful, define ugly, define good, define bad. It is very difficult to define. It depends on your perception. Are you get point? So we cannot define it. Test को मध्य define करि परिबा नै. जण को राग अति कदर्ज लागुची पर जणे राग न खाइले रहि पारुनी. जण को पिता बहुत खराब लागुची पर जणे पिता को आग्रह सहित खाउची. जने मीठा को अति विरक्ति रे सहित खाउछ. एक की मीठा आ जने मीठाटा को बहुत ये खाउछ. So this cannot be quantified. But how much can be produced, that is quantifiable from quantity point. So the projects are prepared for quantified and non-quantified. बुझी पारला? Projects can be prepared from the quantity and quality prospects. Okay, now basically तुमको के पचारि पारे कि classifications of projects. What are the different classifications of project? It are a different chapter. In fact तुम जदि केतले research methodology पढिबो ताबे तुम तो अछि ना, you must have read those chapters, quantified projects, non-quantified projects. ता देरे तुम निश्चित रूपे डिस्कशन करिवो. बट आ देरे मु भाबी परनी कि ए क्लास रे इजीली डिस्कशन ही परिबो quantified, non-quantified, but different classifications of project. Okay, so the next is that project identification. How it is the project are identified. Basically, the broad concept of identification of project is that, again, I will come back to the initial concept which I discussed, generation of idea. Just write 1 or 2 lines. I hope all of you must be carrying pen and paper. समस्ते धरिचंती ना कि ऑफिस रे बसी कि काम करचंती प्लस सुनुचंती. समस्ते लेखुचो ना नहीं. समस्त पचरे के लेखुनी ना मु किछि गाली देबिनी किछि कहिबिनी लेखुनी. There must be some reason for which you may not be writing the concept what I am discussing. के तो ड्राइव करूथिबे, के तो सोई की पढुथिबे, के तो घरे चा भी पिउथिबे. सेमति के अछंती लेखुचु सर वासुदेव लोकनाथ. Good evening sir. Me at office. Okay, but you must have a pen and paper. You must be writing. Okay. Okay. Now, how to identify a project? See, just write 1 or 2 lines, then I will discuss it. Project identification is concerned with collection and compilation of data The project identification is mainly based on how you are collecting the data and how you are analyzing it, how you are assessing it. Now, certain data are economic data, certain are non-economic data. I mean, project economic project, non-economic project. Now, you need to find out the sources of collection. Co source se tome collection karibo. Setere likhiବାକୁ ପଡିବ. Can anyone tell me what are the sources of collection of data?
Sir, it's primary and secondary.
Primary and secondary.
Primary and secondary. ମୁଁ ଥରେ ପଚାରିଥିଲି first semester ରେ data is singular or plural? ମନେ ପଡୁଛି? Singular or plural data?
Plural.
Plural. Na singular?
Plural, sir.
Plural. Singular कौन?
Datum.
Datum. Okay. Now, what is that? See, sources of collecting data. The project identification first is that the methodology what you are adopting to collect the data or the informations. Gathering informations is the basic in this. Now, one is primary source, one is your secondary source. Now, what primary source is actually? Now, primary source where you are collecting the data of your own, what you are collecting the informations of your own initiative. Now, mu to kobe sabu ajikali primary source. Now, tome kobe ki jane research karichi, tar data ta ko tome collection karucha, are taku bhi tome compare karucha, taku bhi tome analysis karucha, tapare taku select kariki tome thesis re pakaucha. That is also primary source. Ajikali sabu jinso primary. The reason is that what a time re thila secondary. Now in this present concept, if you are doing research, then all the informations whatever you are giving, even if you are quoting someone's definition also, it is primary. You know why? Because you need to analyze the definition who had already given, and you need to change the language and you need to write it again. Nahale kona jibo plagiarism re padijibo. बुझी पाला ना नहीं जेतलो पीएचडी थेसिस टी करी सबमिट करबो तमे मन इच्छा त कॉपी टॉपी करी लिखि देलो तमे से जो प्रोजेक्ट करबो कॉपी कोन तमे त डायरेक्ट फाइंड एफ ऑल्ट एमदी कर दबो ऑल्टर करके चेंज कर दबो गोटे पिलाटे नालको रे करितला सेटा आरो गोटे बाल्को थिला से नालको रे कला तारे फाइंड नालको कर देला ता देरे बाल्को पके दे काढी दे देला थेसिस सेमिति भी पिला कर दोचंती नाउ सी बट इन पीएचडी थेसिस तम प्लेजरिज्म टेस्ट रे बाहरिबो. So all are your secondary source. Now certain sources you need to elaborate, certain sources are primary source, certain sources are your secondary source. Now what is that formation of project? It starts with a collection of data, identification of data and selection of data. Kemti mu data ta ko selection karibi. Sampling. Kemiti mu sample. Now what is sampling? Sampling technique rochi kon ki koi pare what the sampling is actually. आज एटा को एमती सार देबी सैंपलिंग कौन यस व्हाट इज सैंपलिंग
माने सर गोटे लार्ज पॉपुलेशन बा लार्ज एरिया रो हमें किछि लोकन को माने नेबा जाकी माने
करबा बा किछि एरिया को सिलेक्ट करबा हमें को स्ट्रैटिफाइड सैंपलिंग रैंडम सैंपलिंग ओके क्लस्टर सैंपलिंग डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ सैंपलिंग टेक्निक्स आर देयर नाउ यू नीड टू सिलेक्ट यस collection of data for analysis. Now collection how? No, it is not collection. Collection is the methodology. Selection of data. Collection or selection bhitar hame komti select kar randomly select kariba or yes representative of a large sample. Total population is this. Ta bhitaru hame select korche. Gote usual example always we give that जेतबेले हमें कोन करूचे भात हेई जाईची ना नै गोटे भात को चिपी किता तो काट देले गोटे दैट इज रैंडम सैंपल तादर कोन टोटल पॉपुलेशन मध्य जदी गोटे लोक यस कहला सब लोक यस बट इट इज नॉट लाइक दैट इन केस ऑफ द ह्यूमन बीइंग सो तादर गोटे कैलकुलेशन स्टैटिस्टिकल टूल रहिची केते लोकन को नेले हमें वैलिड कहबा नले इनवैलिड एनालिसिस हो हाउ मेनी कैन बी टेकन फ्रॉम द टोटल सैंपल केते परसेंटेज टोटल सैंपल टा पके देले ता दरु कैलकुलेशन करले एतिके तुमको नबा को पड़िबो नाउ दिस इज ऑल अबाउट योर कलेक्शन ऑफ डाटा नेक्स्ट इज your once collection of data is there, then you need to find out the opportunity analysis. We need to find out the opportunity. Now what the opportunity is? Opportunity analysis, just write down, opportunity analysis are that step which identifies the broad areas of the research work, or the intended work or activities which have to be carried out. Okay. Mo next class रे आपको complete करीबी. किसी यदि डाउट थी वो you can discuss with me. किसी डाउट रहुचे आज का क्लास रे. Okay, choosing Krishna लिखले choosing a subsection for study, right? Choosing a subsection, choosing the subsection, that is what is a sample. Okay. Any doubt? You can discuss with me. किसी नहीं?
No sir.
Sir,
The class is sir excellent.
हाँ? कौन कहले?
सर आज जोड़ा अपन कहले जो प्रोजेक्ट माने फॉर्मुलेशन बा प्रोजेक्ट माने प्रोजेक्ट आमे जदी माने सिंपली बुझिया को माने चाहिबा बा जने माने करिया को चाहिबो माने गोटे वर्बल बा गोटे थिंकिंग टाको आमे रिटन फॉर्म रे जदी आमे लिखिया को ट्राई करिए.
Excellent. That is what is the concept. But prior to that you should have the idea. The beginning of the project is that you are writing down the idea in a pen and paper. तुम माइंड रे कोन से को लिखु छ. Now how to get such idea? सेति पय तुमको एई जिंस करियो पड़िबो, डेवलप करियो पड़िबो, पढियो को पड़िबो, डिफरेंट लोकों से तो भेटिबा को पड़िबो, डिफरेंट इंटरव्यू करियो को पड़िबो, हां कलेक्ट डाटा कलेक्शन करियो को पड़िबो. बुझ पाल? I hope if you will get a question on idea, I hope if you will get a question on initial chapter of project, you can elaborate it.
सर संडे दिन जो क्लास हबो सेही क्लास विषय रे किछि शेड्यूल आपण कहितले करी जणैबे एई मंथ एंड संडे की सैटरडे जो फ्रंट टू फ्रंट क्लास हबो कोन सर शेड्यूल टा अपडेट किछि.
हां अपडेट कर. सर थैंक यू फॉर रिमाइंडिंग मी. I will update it tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Before that I will update it.
Yes, thank you sir.
How kiछि? How other classes are going on? How other classes are going on?
ठीक ठाक चलची सर.
सब ठीक ठाक चलची. कोर्स कंप्लीशन प्राय आई होप मोस्ट ऑफ द पेपर गुडा का यूनिट 2 3 रे पहुंची थिबो.
सर जदि बाय चांस कोनो सब्जेक्ट हमें बुझी परिबोनी कि माने कोर्स सरीबोनी तो गोटे दिटा एक्स्ट्रा क्लास टिके काइंडली अरेंज
विल ट्राई फॉर दैट. जदि को थरे कहिले कोन होबो ना हमें एबे जो टाइम टा अछि संध्या बेले वी कैन add some more number of classes. So that you need to tell us so that सेथरे कोन से असुविधा नहीं हमें करे देई पारि. नहले एमती करे परिबो कि परीक्षा थिबो बट कोन होबो ना एबे सुनो एटा गोटे कोन होछि ना हमर गोटे टर्म सरी गला. वी नीड टू पे द टीचर्स फॉर दिस जो माने आउटसोर्स रे आसुछंदी तांको हमें पेमेंट करियो. टर्म टा सरी गला पर पुनी अगेन आउथर कल्ला बडको इट इज अ डिफिकल्ट टास्क फॉर अस बट स्टिल वी विल ट्राई फॉर दैट. एई भितरे जदि किछि क्लास दरकार होछि को पेपर यू कैन टेल मी नाउ सो दैट वी कैन अरेंज द क्लास बिटवीन सपोज मु 6 रु 7 नो जे 7 रु 8 वी कैन टेल सम.
ठीक अछि.
But you need to tell me within a day or two because we have already 7 or 8 days more in our hand. I hope सबु पेपर उला के थोड़ा बहुत इजी अछि. सबु पेपर, all the papers are very easy. And why it is easy? Because the teachers are doing the best part of their job. Both excellently, systematically, both simple word they are trying to tell the concept. Jadi kichhi doubt bhi thibo, you can tell me. Okay. Shall I leave now?
Yes, sir.
Thank you,
sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.